2016, I found myself pacing back and forth in this small little jail cell in solitary confinement, wondering, how the heck did I get here? When you start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, you see a real interesting story that emerges, an unbelievable story, really.
911 emergency, require please fire ambulance.
Hi, yes, my son's not breathing. My son's not breathing.
You're in a dark room, you back into the light switch, and you can never unsee what you're seeing.
We were told they destroyed the World Trade Center, but in the years after that, Islamic terrorism was killing fewer Americans every year than lightning. And it's hard to kind of mobilize an entire defense structure against, something that really does not affect most Americans, threaten them in their homes. Vaccines now are the spear tip of the biosecurity agendas.
When you take these vaccines, we feel there's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
He calls what he does philanthrocapitalism. You use philanthropy to make yourself richer, to give yourself control over humanity.
First, we've got population. We could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
There is no doubt that we are experiencing a depopulation, and that is a plan.
We've got to stabilize the population.
What's wrong with the population?
We're too many people.
If you cannot achieve a balanced budget with the retirement system, you've got to lower life expectancy, and that's what's happening.
Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. It looks like this.
If your enemy is a germ, you have something that can get into everybody's homes and kill you. And if you're told constantly, be frightened of this, be fearful, this stuff is coming to get you, it's easy to manipulate that kind of fear and to disable people's capacity for critical thinking.
I think there are two parts to it. One is the shift of money up to the 1% and really control people's lives. When people come to realize that COVID-19 is just a cover under which these things have been brought in, it causes a type of friction in their brains. They just can't accept that.
We are using the federal credit, the Treasury, and the central bank to centralize control. Digital technology gives them the ability to control centrally in such an invasive way that what I described, their goal is slavery.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. Embedded in his hand is a microchip.
And that's the beginning of surveillance. So it'll be like China. Or it'll be digital money. If you don't do what you're told, you can't put food on the table. And if you're good, you get rewarded. That's what the reset's all about.
Through this whole tumult of COVID rising up and bringing together so many activists who are aware of, say, whether it be environmental issues, whether it be GMO foods, whether it be medicine, whether it be the corruption in government. We see it was through the medical industry, but now we see that there is a bigger picture looming.
We live on a planet where we're not allowed to know how the governance system at the top works. One of the most important things we need to protect our freedoms is to understand how the control grid is being built and stop it. And the best way to stop it is each one of us backs out of the control grid. They don't view us as the same species as them. They don't think of themselves as part of our civilization anymore.